Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's bright and early, daily discipline, mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through Friday. Hope you guys are ready for a good weekend. It's going to be going crazy around here this weekend because of Bike Week. This is the final weekend of Bike Week, and this will be the craziest weekend of Bike Week. I will be laying low. You won't find me nowhere. I will be here on the Sinister compound, just chilling. Shop's going to be closed, although I may be in there messing with my Triumph. Let's talk a little bit about the CIA and how they train their agents to manipulate people. They use a tactic called RICE. It's an acronym, and each letter stands for something else. R-I-C-E. And this is how to manipulate people through motivation. So you can motivate people in different ways to do what you want. Now, when you manipulate somebody, what you're talking about is trying to get somebody to do something that they don't want to do. Right? They don't want to do it, and you still want them to do it, so you have to trick them, you have to coerce them, manipulate them. You have to fuck with them. This is how the CIA trains their agents to do it. And I learned this, so I figured I'd pass it on. Now, I'm not trying to teach anyone how to manipulate anyone. I'm not trying to teach you how to use these tactics for evil. The reason why I find this interesting is because we can learn what is being done and protect ourselves from manipulation. Not only that, but you can try to be self-aware of your own behavior. So when you notice yourself, when we're going to go through these 4 areas, when you notice yourself violating any one of these areas, you may also realize at that point that you're leaving yourself open for manipulation. So let's just go over this. The word is RICE. It's an acronym, R-I-C-E. Start with R. R stands for reward. So you can motivate people, you can manipulate people through certain motivations, and that motivation is a reward, carrot on a stick. You can get your kid to clean their room if you entice them with a reward. You can train your dog with biscuits, you know. Rewards work, and we know this. This is obvious stuff. But it also works for people that don't want to do stuff. The mob uses this tactic. The CIA does also, but I'm more familiar with the mob. So if a guy refuses to do what you want him to do, you can still get him to play ball. And instead of beating him up or whatever, you can do that, but you may want to start with a softer tactic, and you can offer him a reward. Now, you may have to identify what his pleasures are. What is this guy looking for? What does he want? You want money? You want women? You want drugs? You want a car? What is it that you want? Maybe you want some sort of positive outcome that maybe we can fix for you. So maybe you can't get an appointment with a certain lawyer, but maybe we could get you that appointment. Maybe a doctor won't be able to see you because his practice is closed, he's not taking new clients, and you desperately need help, but we could get you that appointment. You know, that you just never know. So there's all kinds of rewards, and you got to get to know somebody and to figure out what their motivations are, so then you could prey upon those motivations. What is it that this person desires? And you could prey upon that desire. And the reason why you do that is to manipulate them into doing what you want them to do. So how is this being done to us? Is anybody manipulating me with a reward? And I might want to do a little diagnostic check and sit and think, or at least be aware the next time somebody offers you something. You see this in prison, and somebody might manipulate you through a reward. Here, let me give you this. Here's a cigarette. Here's a blanket. Here's whatever. Here's something. Here's some food. And next thing you know, you're in debt. You've just turned into somebody's bitch, and all they had to do is give you stuff. Are you someone's bitch? It might be the government. It might be your boss. Who knows? But it's just good to be aware of this stuff. The next one, with RICE, the tactic that the CIA teaches their agents on how to manipulate people through motivation is the letter I, and it stands for ideology. Now this is by far the easiest way to manipulate people, is through their ideology. Reward is okay, that works sometimes, but not everybody is greedy, not everybody's in need, not everybody wants help. But ideological people, it's like a guarantee. You can manipulate an ideological motherfucker almost every single time. So your over-the-top beliefs, your really strong beliefs, you've planted your feet so far into the ground, nobody can move you. You're not very open-minded. And you really, really think you know what you're talking about. It may be the Bible, maybe a political narrative, maybe a scientific belief. There's all kinds of ideologies. And really heavily ideological people can be easily manipulated. All I got to do is adopt your ideology. All I got to do is speak the language that you like, that you want to hear. I can literally just blow a bunch of smoke up your ass and you think I'm your best friend. You start trusting me, and this is where you have a foot in the door with manipulation, is trust. When I've proven to you that I have the same ideology as you, the same beliefs as you, and I could do that through lies, a little bit of research and a lot of lies, and you might trust me. You might think I'm one of you. Oh, you're one of us. This guy's such a good guy. He's one of us. So then once I've gotten you to trust me, then I can start leading you along. And that's the pivot. When you gain their trust, you have the advantage, and that is when the game starts. That's when you start manipulating them. That's when you start controlling them. So all you really heavy ideological people out there, I know I have some of you on here, you people that are really politically motivated and your ideology rules your life. Maybe it's social justice, maybe it's alt-right conservative beliefs, you're anti-government and all kinds of things. Who knows what it is? Maybe you're religious, super religious, heavy-duty Christian. Oh, you're big-time Muslim. Pray 5 times a day. I could get you to do whatever I want you to do, and you wouldn't even realize it. All I got to do is use a couple tactics. Moving down the list, rice. We have the letter C. The letter C stands for coercion. Now, in this context, coercion, when the CIA is going to coerce somebody, they're going to use more aggressive tactics. They're basically going to hold something over your head, and it's going to be kind of a threat. We can expose you with this information. Even if it's real or fake, it doesn't matter. They can fabricate some information about you being a pedophile. Oh, we got pictures of you with a 15-year-old girl, and you can say, I didn't do anything like that. Oh, they could fake it. They could make it all up and expose you. It could be less insidious. It could be something financial. It could be something with your business, something with your personal life. The social justice warriors kind of figured this out, where they could troll through some of your old Facebook posts from 9 years ago and find something that might be misconstrued as racist and then have you canceled for it. And if you don't want to be canceled, well, you'll play ball. You'll do what they want. A simple meeting, and you can coerce somebody and hold something over their head. Now you can also slam their throat up against the wall and say, I'll kill you, I'll kill you, I'll kill you, and people will respond to that type of coercion, but you can only get someone to do that once. Coercion is the weakest form of motivation, of manipulation through motivation, because you can really only coerce somebody once. The final one in this tactic, the rice manipulation tactic that the CIA trains people to use, is the letter E, and that stands for ego. Ego is the second. Ideology is the first. Ego is the second easiest way to manipulate somebody and to get them to do what you want them to do. You can motivate people through ego. You can get someone to do what you want them to do by studying their ego and playing towards it. So you might get a guy who is really self-inflated. He thinks he's the biggest, the baddest, the richest, the most dominated. He really just thinks a lot of himself. This guy, man, he is just the king, boss. Everywhere I go, I'm the boss. Oh, you could take a guy like that and just run game on him all day long, man. All day long. You big egotistical guys, and you're so easy to spot. Oh, you're what we used to call a mark. A con artist used to call suckers marks, M-A-R-K. You can spot a mark from a mile away. How you walk, your little strut. I mean, I can tell 10 different things about you. You have to become an expert in sizing people up. Poker players, ones who are really good at reading tells. You know that word, a tell? You poker players, you know this already. When you've identified someone's personality traits, you can play upon them, especially when they're ego-driven. Because when you're ego-driven, a person who's lost in ego isn't really thinking rationally. They're kind of like a baby falling downhill, so you can play, or running downhill rather. So that motherfucker might fall at any second. He has terrible balance. He doesn't really know what's going on. He's just following his passions and his motivations and a persona that he's created, wearing this mask, lost in this attitude. Oh, guys like that are the best. They're so easy to fuck with. You can take everything from them. So, do you have a big ego? Is your ego making you vulnerable? Do you think that you're Andrew Tate? Do you think that you're Wes Watson? Do you think you're Arnold Schwarzenegger? Do you think that you're the baddest? Every time you walk in a room, you're like, yeah, I kick everybody's ass here. I'm the richest guy. I'm the most dominant. I'm the alpha. Are you one of these guys who's highly focused on this alpha beta bullshit? Your little ego. And you always place yourself as alpha, right? Oh, I could just run game on you all day long. You wouldn't even know it. You'd pay for it. You'd eat it up. So be self-aware. I'm not trying to teach you how to manipulate people, and I'm not trying to come down on people that fall victim to this stuff. We all fall victim to this stuff. It's good to be self-aware. Many of us have been manipulated. I know I have. I'm not that smart. I've had people fuck with me countless times, and it sucks, man. It fucking sucks. So not only can I recognize this behavior in others when they're trying to do this, but I can recognize it in myself when I'm acting dumb. Right? Food for thought.